and Alma to call upon. But for Paraguay, they have their firepower in Cynthia Cristaldo, Lucero Viveros and Veronica Romero, and they're all doing it in the absence of their captain Ingrid Alfonso, injured out in Krakow, but I'm sure watching on with proud eyes at these international Paraguayan women who went down to Hong Kong, China yesterday, but they led at one stage, and there's a lot of firepower in there, and they're one of the stories of the year, their steady ascent up the rankings. For Uganda, they were so close to going to Madrid for the HSBC 7 showdown. 4th in Dubai, 4th in Montevideo, but stumbling in Krakow. This is now their big opportunity, and they kick things off with a resounding victory against Jamaica. Philippa Tatia, what do you reckon of this showdown?
Yeah, it's an interesting one. Two teams that actually play quite different style of sevens. Uganda using their physicality, their strength, their athleticism. Paraguay looking to use the playmakers a little bit more.
Kat Roach is our woman in the middle for this clash, and I touched on it with Rupert that these two have met only twice in history, and it was both in Krakow. And Paraguay's victory over Uganda in the pool stages really added to the derailment of their Challenger campaign. They got revenge in the 7th place playoff, but this will mean oh so much more. And a bit of a miscommunication on the kickoff sees it trickle out, and Uganda have the throw just on the outskirts of their 22.
Yeah, the chase was there, wasn't it, from Paraguay, but unfortunately the kick just had a little bit too much on it.
Step in, please.
Up go the Lady Cranes, and it's fizzed out from Lona Amoli, a try scorer against Jamaica, and Peace Lekuru feints inside, then goes to the width of Grace Alma, who gets greeted by a 3 Paraguayan reception committee out on the edge. Uganda being driven back. Look at that for a collision.
Number 4. Up here. Up here. Offside.
Peace Lekuru so confident in contact, and she takes on to Lacia Carles, a Paraguayan crocodile, and they're snapping away at these Ugandans, trying to deny them entry into their half, but eventually Peace Lekuru advances Uganda forward up to the 10-meter line now. A lot of numbers, a lot of width, a lot of depth, and there's some bulk in the midfield, but we won't get to see it in full flight as Mary Ayot spills with Paraguayans in her sights.
That's a shame, because they had a really nice depth of line there, so allowing the players to come on at pace, but unfortunately couldn't quite take the ball with her.
Crouch! I want them. Bind! Set!
Really juicy piece of attacking real estate here for Paraguay. They go down the bigger right side, lovely switch, and Cristaldo onto the ball. The offloading game supreme, and the support arriving from Cici Benza, the captain this weekend. To the right they flash, onto the boot from Viveros. The chase, Viveros, will she get there? No, she's beaten to it. But great ambition from the South Americans.
Absolutely, and they've got to take these chances. We saw in their earlier game against Hong Kong, they started well, but then they just faded away. They didn't take their opportunities, so great little bit of creativity there, putting it in behind and just seeing what would happen with a foot race, mixing up the picture.
The 22 drop. 22 drop out.
A bit of confusion on the restart as Uganda drop out from the 22. Araceli Nicolini, try scorer against Hong Kong, China, flashing down the right-hand side, straight from the kickoff. Here's Galto, moving laterally, shovels a ball to Cristaldo. If she wriggles free, she's gone. But it's really good defence from Grace Nabagala, but the knock-on had already come.
Scrappy stuff, isn't it, from both sides? I think they can feel the pressure on this game.
Crouch!
Just in two minds as to whether she wanted to get that offload away then. You've got to be decisive.
But these are usually pretty free scoring affairs. That's such good harassment offered by the halfback, and in goes Mendes again looking for more. They're really physical, these Paraguayans, and they're matching Uganda where it's one of their strengths. Oh, but they break free. Lydia Namabiro stretches her legs, heads for the poles, and she won't be caught. The deadlock broken by Lydia Namabiro.
Oh, it was a lovely little splice through. Like you say, really good hustle there from the back of the scrum, putting pressure on, but managing to salvage that bobbling ball. Uganda get it away through the hands, and there we see the splice through. Just backing herself on that outside arc, and a little bit of a hair pull there. That they might want to look at that. You cannot do that.
Well, I did think for a moment, but I thought she was arching back in her effort to accelerate away, but clearly a hair pull there on the woman who plays her rugby for the Black Pearls in Uganda, and extras added and no further retribution as well for the hair pull. That's a yellow card offence ordinarily. So Paraguay lucky to still have 6 on the field, and it was the yellow card against Hong Kong China that proved pretty terminal for them. It was a big turning point in their game that they opened up with yesterday. A loss here doesn't mean that the journey's over for them, but it certainly makes things a lot trickier. Whilst for Uganda, they'll be through if they get the W, but they've got to work for it first. Benza goes hurtling through a hole. A little bit of sloppiness on the presentation, and it's yielded a penalty for Uganda. And I love the urgency that they have to tap and go and get moving. Peace Lakuru straightens, moves so gracefully. Shipped on, one more awkward bounce for the try scorer. She falls to the floor, but she feathers it forward in the act. Well, both these sides are incredibly dedicated. In the build-up to the Dubai Challenger, the Ugandans, they only took Christmas and Boxing Day off training ahead of coming to the tournament. And for Paraguay, some of these women, they travel 2.5 hours each way to get to training, and they've also got full-time jobs. Cristaldo is their key woman. Oh, was she tackled with or without the ball?
Tackle off the ball.
The answer is without.
9.
And it's Uganda and Lona Romoli who'll be sent to the sin bin.
And she looks like she's in a little bit of pain there as well, so I think they're just going to take a time out and just get her checked.
Time off.
So here we're going to see the slow replay of the infringement. Keep your eye on the Ugandan players there. See, look, she's not in contact with the ball. You can't tackle a player off the ball.
It'll be a scrum.
Well, the concern is for Cynthia Cristaldo, who scored not just 2 tries, 2 absolute bangers against Hong Kong China. Yes, we see the right knee heavily strapped. The
Time back on.
Cristo Rey Rugby Club woman in Jose Falcon. She's made of stern stuff.
Set.
Back on her feet, and the Paraguayans banging at Uganda's door. They really have to squabble, but they don't get the ball. The hooter blows. Uganda have only got 6 on the field, but that hasn't dulled their ambition. Nice inside ball, and they've got a bit of a mismatch here now. Boot to ball, but off the very side of that boot, and that brings to a close. An entertaining first half that's yielded just 1 try. It's Uganda leading Paraguay 7 points to 0. blow the pool open if Paraguay can capitalise on the fact that they have 7 on the field and Uganda still have 6, albeit with a 7-point lead. Maria Galto linking up. Ball is presented, there's a Ugandan offside, and that's a nice delay ball. Getting the hands free, the anticipation, and Mendes going back inside. Uganda battling hard. Oh, it's a crunching hit. Nicolini's been emptied by the right shoulder of a Ugandan there, and just as things opened up, a loose pass finds the touchline.
Oh, it was the right idea, wasn't it, though? That's that big hit you were just on about then. So good, because it just narrows down the attacker's opportunities. Can't get that ball away, not in control of the situation, so it just kills the play. Paraguay trying desperately to get that offload away down that wing side.
Oh, Uganda can ill afford to miss their jumpers in the lineup with 6 on the field. Lona Amoli still serving her sentence, but Paraguay are just as loose. It is scrappy, it is imprecise. Oh, and the bouncing ball can so often be the undoing. Grace Nabagala patiently waiting before exploding forward. Namabiro, 1 try already. What an offload! And Peace Lakuru like an express train.
Lakuru just timed her support run so well then. So almost biding her time, waiting for the opportunity to come. You just see it now. She kicks into pace there and she's ready for the offload. A player coming on with a little bit of depth, but more importantly pace with that good timing. It will just cut through the defence.
Well, Uganda are known as the Lady Cranes, and well, that try has got the fans up and grooving here in Monaco. I was going to say that Uganda are known as the Lady Cranes, and they'll be on their way back to the halfway line after that kickoff, but their captain, Peace Lakuru, has been anointed the Lioness.
Make sure we're 10!
Such
10.
is her fearsomeness on the field, but maybe on that occasion the Swiss clock for her timing on the arrival for that offload. Paraguay questing for some rhythm and they can't find it. The captain offers up a switch in the midfield. Receives it back from Nasozi. Lakuru, already 3 tries this weekend. Nasozi gets herself back on the ball, but she gets herself isolated at the same time. No sweeper at home, but no chase on the Paraguayans. Brilliant tackle up high on Nabagala. It's so difficult to drag down. Namabiro fancies a double. Sticky paws from Nabagala. It was a rocket of an offload. Again, the link up between Nasozi and Lakuru proving fruitious. And again, Lasia Cares snapping away.
Diving over.
This time, will the Lady Cranes make the Paraguayans pay? They get stripped in the contact, and
tackle!
There are some tired lungs and minds out there. Veronica Romero there with the dart wearing 11. Still the tackles rain in.
Advantage.
Another spill forward. Surely, if it's shit left, it's try time. There's so much space. There's so much pace, but look at the hit coming in from Nicolini before Grace Nabagala, the lady pacer, finally grabs the game by the scruff of the neck and Rip roars home to put the result pretty much beyond doubt.
God, that was a long bit of open play there. Ball exchanging hands a couple of times. You could see it was taking its effect on the fitness. But Uganda just had that little bit left in the tank.
Wow, maybe a more muted celebration from the lads on this occasion.
Sub.
Are so fervently supported on social media as well. I know that there'll be huge numbers tuning in, wishing good fortune on the Cranes and the Lady Cranes. The Paraguayans are looking for their first score. Hint of that pass being forward, but it slides. It off goes. Nicolini can't escape the grasp of being lassoed round the ankles.
Now, away!
Nabagala, no way through. This is Kirabo. Kirabo wants a switch, doesn't get one, puts her head down. Plays a sevens for the Avengers.
No leave, away!
Back to the right, into the hands. Oh, nearly wriggling free. How are the Paraguayans keeping these Ugandans out? Peace Lakuru sidesteps herself. More hits come in from the Paraguayans. They'll need to make one more because Lona Amoli's lurking, and Lona Amoli is scoring.
That was great effort, wasn't it, from Paraguay? They're trying to do what they can, but at the moment, Uganda have just got the feeling for this game. Just that little bit stronger, a little bit quicker, a little bit faster on the outside edge.
Watch the kick, Blue!
Smiles all round. And Uganda with that fourth try. That is job done. It was a real battle out there, but full time, Uganda 24, Paraguay 0.